Hey everybody, welcome to Reading Smoke with Phil Jost. I'm Phil Jost. Let's get started. Hey, we're looking at this video. I'm going to be talking about transitional attacks. We're going to be doing that a little bit over the next couple of weeks, maybe a month or so, as I find good videos to illustrate some of the points, because the questions coming up a lot in the in-person classes. And I've been doing quite a few in-person classes since the fall last year, sort of the end of the pandemic era. And getting back out there teaching on the road, which I really appreciate. It's fun to be in classes with students, going over this stuff and answering direct questions. So a couple of things we got going here. Obviously, this room's on fire. Pretty clean mix, right? Right temperature, right mix, and we're going to have very low smoke volume, right? Because remember, smoke is fuel, and if the fuel is being consumed, you're not going to have much left over. But tons of heat being produced in here. It's a little hard to see here, but this one was also all blacked out. You can watch the whole video. The link's in the show notes here. But this room, right, is completely untouched. Now that might be a separate unit, or it might be part of the same unit. I don't know for sure, but either way, nothing happened in there. I suspect it's a different unit just because these look like townhouses, right? So no extension laterally, which I wouldn't expect. A little bit of smoke down here on floor 1, right? So a little bit of smoke pushing down, but the density is very thin, right? So visibility is going to be really good in there. Temperature is probably close to ambient, maybe slightly elevated, especially at the top, but not a whole lot of stratification there. And as he opens the door, there's not a lot of smoke pushing out, right? So we're mostly looking at this fire here, and so when you're doing a transitional attack, what you want to look for is a rapid and sustained decrease in volume, velocity, density, color, right? Now, let's understand we're going to get a change in color because we're going to add a lot of water to the mix, right? So we're going to get some copious volumes of clean, pristine, dissipating white. Yet that white is super dirty white, so that there's a lot of fuel still mixed in it, and the turbulence stays super high. Then even if you get that color change, you're not really putting the fire itself out, because that velocity and the density is sustained, right? If the velocity density is sustained, that may not be your main fire room. Now in this case, it's going to be the main fire room. They're going to get going. They're using relatively low gallonage here, I'm guessing 50 or less. It's a different country, but we can still learn, right? A couple other things I should have pointed out: almost no smoke coming from the roof, right? A little bit of white, maybe filtered, or that might even be steam. I'm not sure, but it looks like maybe a combination of steam and filtered smoke, but nothing that indicates, right, that the fire has already extended to this attic space, right? It's mostly hanging out over the fire unit. It's not pushing out down further, etc., right? So let's let them get going on their fire attack. And like I said, relatively low volume, and they're going to get a pretty rapid changeover in this room right now, as they get going, right? And you can see they have an instant change in color. Now this smoke at the front end's a little bit dirty, but notice it's just not pumping like you would expect to see if there was a post flashover compartment somewhere else in this building, right? Massive quantities of clean, pristine, dissipating white. And notice that even though it's got some turbulence, it doesn't have that super violent turbulence that we see from flashed over compartments. And if you go look at it, watch the smoke coming from a flashed over compartment. If you're looking for that, there's plenty on the Reading Smoke on my YouTube page here, right? But notice a really good transition, and now this is going to be, we're not going to watch a lot of it here, but this will just be a sustained decrease in VVDC, just constantly going down with the rapid change up front, which is what we saw. Notice there's, even though there's a tiny bit of color to this, there's not that significant gray that you would have if, like I said, there's another flashed over compartment pumping into this space, right? And so when you're looking for that transitional, you want a rapid decrease in volume, velocity, density, color, rapid and sustained. Okay, if you don't get that, you just need to move on to whatever's next, right? You just need to recognize it early and figure out a different way to tactically solve the problem. Okay, so the links are always in here. Appreciate you being here. Sorry I missed last week. Life is pretty busy right now, but we're gonna get another couple of weeks here. We're gonna get good videos and do some really good learning here at SBSK. Thanks, man. I had so much fun in Wisconsin and Michigan last week teaching there. Thanks to Dearborn, Campbellsport, Waupun. I mean, it just is so nice to be out there teaching in person. So if you want to schedule a class later in the year, let me know, or even next year, because I'm already scheduling for 23. All right, and so thank you, Reading Smoke Nation. Thanks for being here. If you have any thoughts, please put them in the comments. I love getting comments and answering those. And for Reading Smoke with Phil Jose, I'm Phil Jose, and